Chair leg burning on an open fire, trying to keep the fuel cost down, making tea last as long as it can while wrapped up in a dressing gown. Everybody knows at Christmas there are relatives whose company you cannot bear. But if they insist on sharing your day, then it's cheaper at theirs. I've just been out with my mate Mandy, who says that there's not enough pizzazz in the songs this year, so jazz hands. Hello lovelies. Lesley, not quite enough Vlogmas. How are we? Hope everyone's okay. This will be just a quick one, and I'm sorry that it's late. It's been a very busy day. I have just been out with my mate Mand. We've been looking at Christmas lights in treacherous conditions because the pavements are still pretty slippery. I will edit the footage of that and get that to you either tomorrow or over the weekend. But yes, it was cold, it was icy. We came home. We didn't stay as long as we have in previous years. So today's Vlogmas. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for all your comments and thoughts, as always. I really do appreciate it. You've been asking about my injuries sustained during my attempt at the slalom. Yeah, fine. Achy, as expected. Yeah, it's fine. It's not too bad, thanks. So the thing I need to do today to bring a little positivity to my life is to read some work testimonials. Because sometimes people send me a card or a letter or an email after a ceremony, frankly singing my praises. So I shall read some of those to remind me that I am capable of doing the job that I'm paid to do. Happy memory. Oh gosh, I was so lucky. School trips to Stratford-upon-Avon. I was so lucky. My school had pretensions of adequacy, and it was a grammar school. So for those outside the UK, it meant you had to pass an exam to get there. It was state funded, wasn't private, but you had to pass an exam to get there. And it considered itself quite academic and very musical. But aside from the music, I was very lucky in that a couple of years running, we had trips to Stratford-on-Avon to see Shakespeare plays at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. So lucky. We used to stay in guest houses. I mean, the poor teachers, we must have been a nightmare. You imagine you're in a guest house with like 12 teenage girls. Just not fun at all. So I do feel for the teachers who had to chaperone us and make sure that we weren't being complete nightmares, which we probably were. But it meant we got to see amazing performances of Shakespeare plays in great places, you know, in the great place. And it meant we got to see Shakespeare's mother's house, and we, you know, on the Avon, and just really, really lucky. Saw a production of The Tempest with John Thor, who went on to play Morse, for those who don't sort of get the name. No, he wasn't in The Tempest, he was in Twelfth Night. The Tempest was Derek Jacobi. I mean, that was real pucker stuff. Excellent. Amazing production. No idea at the time how phenomenal these things were that we were seeing. We just thought, oh yeah, that's good, isn't it? So one year we saw 2 plays, and then the next year we saw 3. We had sort of Friday night, Saturday matinee and Saturday evening. I will be perfectly honest, by the time we were sitting to watch the Saturday evening performance, because there were 3 different plays, they could have been more comfortable seats. That's all I'm saying. So by the time Julius Caesar is getting stabbed, we're thinking, oh, can we go now? Is he dead? You know, I mean, so, yeah, so that's the only criticism. But yeah, they were just amazing trips. I was really lucky that the school arranged them, that my parents were able to pay for me to go on them. Just phenomenal, and incredibly lucky to have had that experience. Yeah. Yes, and I just, again, for the teachers, I just feel so desperately sorry, because I'm sure we were an absolute pain in the neck. But they got to go and see the shows too, so, you know, it had its compensations. So, good fun all round. Today's yarn is some handspun. And I can't remember what this fibre was. But it's quite a dark fibre. I honestly can't remember what it was. But it's some of my handspun, which is still curling around like nobody's business because I overspun it just a tad. But pretty colours in there, got greens and purples. So I will make the next items in the Advent. Like I say, keeping it brief today, running super late, so apologies for that. Tomorrow I hope to be on time, and also hope to show you footage of the Christmas lights that we saw this evening in dangerous conditions. Okay, it was icy underfoot. There we go. Take care everyone, thanks so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye bye.